New York in the 1800s. Close your eyes for a second. No skyscrapers, no yellow taxis, no Times Square. Just mud, ships, and noise. This is New York in the early 1800s, a rough port city that's about to become the center of the world. At the start of the 19th century, New York isn't number one. Cities like Philadelphia and Boston still dominate. But New York feels different. There's energy here. You can feel it in the harbor, in the streets, in the constant movement of people and goods. It's not the biggest yet, but it's hungry. Then comes 1825, a project so ambitious many believed it would fail. A man-made waterway stretching hundreds of miles, connecting the Atlantic Ocean to the American interior, the Erie Canal. And when it opens, everything changes. Goods from the Midwest now flow directly into New York, faster, cheaper, in massive volumes. And just like that, New York becomes the gateway to America. Money floods in, trade explodes, the city begins to transform. But it's not just goods arriving, it's people. In the 1840s, Ireland is collapsing under famine. Families board ships with nothing, hoping to survive. New York becomes their entry point. Soon after, Germans arrive too, fleeing unrest and economic hardship. By the middle of the century, the city is overflowing with humanity. Different languages fill the air, different cultures collide in the streets, different dreams begin to take shape. New York is no longer just American, it's global. But growth comes at a cost. The city isn't ready. Housing is scarce, so landlords begin packing people into overcrowded buildings, tenements. Entire families living in a single room, no clean water, no proper ventilation, disease spreading easily. Step inside, you feel it instantly. Heat, noise, the pressure of survival. And yet, people endure, because even this life feels like a chance. Amid the chaos, the city tries to create order. A bold idea emerges. Straight streets, numbered avenues, a grid system designed for growth. At first, it feels unnatural, too rigid, but over time, it becomes the blueprint of modern New York. The chaos doesn't disappear, but it becomes organized. Then comes war, the Civil War. Even far from the battlefield, New York feels it. The economy is divided, the people are divided. And in 1863, the tension explodes. A military draft is introduced, but the wealthy can pay to avoid it. The poor cannot. For days, riots take over the city. Violence, fires, chaos. It becomes one of the deadliest uprisings in American urban history. New York reveals its darker side. And still, it keeps moving forward. After the war, the city rises again, stronger, richer. Wall Street becomes the financial heart of the nation. But where there's money, there's power. And where there's power, there's corruption. Political machines take control. They offer help, jobs, housing, protection. But in return, they take influence, votes, loyalty, control. Behind the scenes, millions disappear. The system works, just not for everyone. Yet, despite everything, New York keeps building and building and building. In 1883, something incredible happens. A bridge rises over the East River, the Brooklyn Bridge. Massive, unbelievable. At first, people are afraid to cross it. It looks impossible, but it holds. And soon, it becomes a symbol of innovation, of ambition, of a city that refuses limits. And then, just a few years later, another symbol appears. In 1886, a towering figure rises in the harbor, a woman holding a torch, the Statue of Liberty. For millions arriving by sea, this is the first thing they see. Not just a monument, a message. You made it. Start again. By the end of the 1800s, New York is no longer just a city. It's a force. 5 boroughs unite, the population explodes, skyscrapers begin to rise, and the foundation is set for the modern capital of the world. But beneath it all, the same story remains: ambition, struggle, opportunity. New York wasn't built in comfort. It was built in pressure. And that is exactly what made it unstoppable.
But the story doesn't end here, because everything that was built in the 1800s was only the foundation. A city shaped by immigrants, by struggle, by risk, is about to face something even bigger. The 1900s are coming, and with them, skyscrapers that touch the clouds, subways moving millions underground, new industries, new money, new power. But also crime, mafia, and a city learning how to survive its own success. So, if you think New York was intense before, you haven't seen anything yet. In the next video, we dive into the 1900s, the rise of modern New York as we know it today. Make sure you don't miss it. Subscribe and step into the next chapter.